I put these up for sale. Somebody's interested in them. I'm going to give them a quick scrub here and see what they look like. These are original from 1960 seat covers. I mean, I'm not expecting them to look like new, that's for sure. And they're, I mean, I'm surprised they're even here. I mean, you just don't see these things very often. These original colors, you can't buy it anywhere. Hang on a second, let's look at this. Just using a little oxygen orange to try and get the dirt off them so we can see if there's much color left. They don't look, I mean, they look bad, but they're original. You know, if you're expecting new stuff for your old car or something that looks really, really super clean in 1960, that's just not, that's more than not normal. That's, you know, the story of these actually is they had we had this 60 bug that came to my buddy's shop, and they wanted to put it, they wanted him to assemble it, and the sorry man, this is how you got to do this. Got to get they're so filthy. You got to get that one's, look at that one, doesn't look too bad. That's the back seat, back, not the bottom. And the vinyl is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit crusty, but I don't know, maybe there could, I'm thinking what I'd do is take some automotive polish, you know, or rubbing compound, and try and take off a little bit of the layer. It might end up looking pretty good. I mean, that's what I would do. I would run these if I had the right color car. But the story on these is the car, somebody had cut the roof off of it, but it was a really wildly low mileage car, and you know, at some point, you know, we don't know when, and they had grafted another roof on it and did such a poor job that it was actually, they had actually ruined the car. So started to part it out. I mean, here's the seat frames. They're just cherry, and I needed the seat frames for my car, and these are the wrong color upholstery for my car, so that's for that Arctic and that other blue color, they came with this color upholstery. So this is what these actually were really nice seats. I was like, man, you know, I almost didn't want to take them apart. Even I don't know if we still have the foam and if that will even pack and ship, but even the foam and the seat backs were super cherry. But you know, of course, that stuff starts to fall apart when it's that age, the old stuff. So I don't know if we kept it or not, but so like they're a little bit, not really crusty, but they're a little bit, you know, the vinyl isn't all pliable as much as it, you know, was, of course, when it was new. There's this issue here. The top of the seat is torn. You know what I would do if I were doing this? I would be really careful, try and turn these inside out, and then take another piece of vinyl and actually use silicone and make a patch from the inside. So, and then I would probably just take and stitch these back up with some, they have that sail thread and a number 23 needle by hand, and stitch these back up together. But you'll never buy this color. And the backs of the seats are pretty cool. It's like original color. So, and the front doesn't look terrible. It's like gray and it's like a blue color. Alright, so I went ahead and did a wash with the you got to use this, you know, soapy solution or something, a brush, hose them off, and then you got to be careful. Check an area, and I went ahead and checked it with some like spray gun cleaner, and it doesn't leave a stickiness to it or anything like that. Just a little bit. You're almost going to have to walk the edge a little bit to get them clean, but you can see that this is all coming off. Actually pretty surprised that that's clean. That's how clean they are. So these could be cleaned up to look pretty nice. Again, what I would do with stuff like this here, this is the rear seat. Okay, the condition of that. The rear seat back, it's dirty back here. I would just get a hose and hose all that out, clean it up really good. And then, you know, it's got a rip in the corners. So this stuff, what you do is you just put it back together, and then you'll see the stitches, but you can use that sail thread that they have. I don't think I'd use regular sunbrella. I'd use like sail thread. It's a little thicker. And I'd put that together with that. And let's go through each piece here. So that's the seat back. Okay, this is the front seat bottom, one of them. See some of the seams here are a little bit torn, like right here. This is just unthreaded, so it could be just threaded back together. Okay, and then cleaned up like that. Then your seat back here has this problem. What you do is you really try and it feels like it's pliable enough. It could be turned inside out. Turn it inside out, and be really careful doing that. Get it warm first, and then get some more vinyl and like put a piece, back this up with another piece, and take clear silicone and press it overnight with the clear silicone as a glue to hold the other vinyl to it. And then you put and then you'll have enough there to actually thread this back together. So you got to get a little bit creative, guys, if you want these. That's the seat back. When you're doing a patina ride, this is all the kind of things you got to do if you want it to look. Here's the other seat back. It's torn. This is probably the passenger side. It doesn't matter. They'll both interchange. So this passenger side, the welt is cracking. So keep that in mind. It's going to crack around the welt because it's gotten brittle. And then that's the piping. People call piping, but it's called welt. So here's the other seat bottom. I'll go ahead and leave the wires in it and everything. Then we've got, you know, this here. No, I'm not going to clean them all up. That's a lot of work. I could spend, you know, you're going to spend a whole day cleaning them, and then they'll look. You can get them better than that. I mean, I could get the whole thing like this spot right here, which is pretty nice. And that's the seat back. And then here's the seat bottom for the rear seat. So you can see the condition isn't terrible. The sides where it's cloth, that is really, it's cotton and it's pretty rotten, but you don't see that part when it's in the car. But you might even, the same thing, take it inside out and then coat the back side of this cloth, the back side of this, with silicone, and put another piece of cloth over that to reinforce it, and the silicone will soak into this cloth here and actually make it stronger, and leave it overnight, press it together, and then you'll have original color seat covers, which nobody can buy. I mean, this is the back seat, and the top is not even that bad. One little hole, you know, this thing here, that's pretty amazing. you know, there's some torn pieces. The back, the seat back was this material here, and this is cardboard and it's rotten, but that could be made again. And then what I would do, I'd make it out of that black cardboard they have at the upholstery supply, and then I would go down to a regular house paint store and get a quart of primer, and then have them eye match this color, and then paint it with a roller, a fine roller, and you'll get that texture that's in here. I don't know how far they got to get shipped, but if you want to, you know, if you want them on your car, I mean, I don't know what it costs for shipping now. I could probably fit them in one of those postal boxes, but I'm not going to be responsible if they get damaged in shipping. I'll just try and roll them up. But they're pretty pliable. I mean, I'm not seeing, they're not, you know, they're not crunchy. So I'm surprised they're not. This, you know, the seat bottom here has this in it. But again, I would take a little piece of vinyl, put it on the back side, silicone, press it overnight, and that will keep that from getting worse. But it is pretty, it's a little slightly brittle, so if I fold them, they might, you know, might crack. So again, I'm not going to guarantee that they're going to get to you without any kind of issues. So anyway, guy on the before I put them on the Samba, private message me if you're interested. Anybody on the channel, they're going to get first dibs on it. See, you know, send me an offer. I really don't know what to ask for them. If this car was this color, I would definitely run these. These are cool. I mean, these are really neat to see. Original 1960 color, full set of original seat covers. I've honestly never seen them on the Samba, but I'm not looking for a ton of money. Just send me an offer that you think is fair, and if I still have them, I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to leave it up here for the people who are looking for the original seat colors for your car. Maybe you just want to know what they really look like. These are original 1960. You just don't see this. I've never seen this before. So the deal with the car that we're on, it was a low miles car. Somebody cut the roof off, did a terrible job. I did it with the pan and the motor and trans, which were all in great shape, running. The motor, just a little bit of work to it, and it ran. The trans was in good shape, shifted through all the gears, no pop outs, with a split case tranny, which is pretty rare. And you know, the body, it didn't look like it was a rollover, so the body was in good shape other than the roof. They just cut the roof off terribly bad. None of the glass would fit. They did it in the wrong place. You know, it's a disaster. The doors were actually in good shape. You know, a lot of that stuff, there was no damage in the door, so it wasn't a rollover car. It was just, for some reason, I'm thinking that it was back when the bugs were worth nothing. It was a rag top, and somebody wanted the rag top roof and just cut it off this beautiful car, you know, for whatever reason. Maybe they couldn't get papers on it, or I don't know, who knows. And we ended up with the seats from it, so pretty cool. All right, talk to you next video. Please like, share, and subscribe.